Welcome back, everyone. I'm Jessica Greer, Global Real Estate Advisor, and in this video, we're going to take another look at Merancas Island on Lake Norman. And then we're going to turn around and head to Quail Hollow in South Charlotte to talk to Ben Bowen about what it takes to list high-end properties. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more great information on luxury real estate. The luxury real estate market in the Charlotte, North Carolina area has tons of variety, with everything from charming southern estates to high-rise penthouse views in the city. Lake Norman and luxury go hand in hand, but there are multiple hubs and high-end estates across the area. With easy access to the city, as well as large plots of land and country club neighborhoods, Lake Norman is perfect for professionals with a taste of the finer things in life. Here we are at the site of one of Lake Norman's most prestigious properties, known as Merancas Island. This $18 million home comes complete with over 14,000 square feet, including a main house and guest house, and a heated pool, private tennis court, and more. Merancas Island has been one of my favorite places to visit over the last year, as I've worked closely with the homeowners to get this place on the market and find the next perfect buyer for my clients. If you've been following along, you may have seen the video where we walked the entire property with the original architect, Harry. Harry Schrader was the visionary who was able to bring this exclusive private island to life. So make sure you check out that video to see how every detail on this property was expertly curated. Let's head over to Quail Hollow, another luxury hotspot in South Charlotte, to sit down with Ben Bowen. All right, we are here at Quail Hollow with my friend and mentor, the one and only Ben Bowen. Thank you for having us here today at your listing.
You're welcome. Happy to be here.
This is a gorgeous place. Tell us a little bit about, you have come such a long way with getting listings like this. Yeah. What would you say helped you along the way?
So I would say it's a gradual process. It's been mostly through relationships with clients, and it's been through marketing to high-end people. But the biggest part has been having successes for high-end clients, maintaining a relationship with them, and getting business through that.
Just to prep a little bit for a listing like this, or for the listing that we have at Merancas Island, what would you tell folks is the number one thing to do whenever you've gotten the listing? Yeah. Where do you go from there? Marketing something on this level, what is the most important step?
So the first thing is probably to set expectations and communicate with the owner. Try to figure out what they're wanting, what their goals are, and what their expectations are. They think it's going to sell in 2 weeks or 6 months, or kind of getting engaged for where they are and educating them on what you see the market and how it's doing there. I look at all the other comparable homes that have sold in the area and have a very clear idea of where I think we're likely headed with a listing. There's a lot of time up front spent prepping the house, getting it ready, making sure it's showcase ready. This home that we're in now was absolutely spotless the day I walked in here, so not much to do here. But a lot of times there are things, and you've got to be okay telling the owner of a $5 million house, $8 million house, here's things you've got to do to make your house show better. And not all agents are comfortable doing that, but you've got to be okay to go up and say, hey, here's some things we need to do to make your house show better. So once you have it showing in its very best condition, it's hiring the best photographers, it's spending money marketing the property in the right places, it's reaching out and personally contacting agents that show in that market, in that area, and telling them about the listing. It's putting together a comprehensive, for me, brochure with distinctive features of the house, things that make it unique and things that make it worthy of the price tag. And when the buyers have questions, you need to know the answer to most of it. And what you don't, you can find out from the seller.
Can you talk to us a little bit about a lot of these homes, especially Merancas Island, a huge price point that we have, and it's such a unique property. The majority of the folks that we've had that are interested in that property, they're coming from out of state. So let's talk a little bit about what it's like to have a buyer come in from out of town, and what we can do for those buyers. Yeah,
I think the first thing you can do is make them feel welcomed to Charlotte and find out what drew them to Charlotte. Was it work? Did they have a choice? Is they raising a family here? Are they retiring here? try to understand what brought them here, and then showcase how what you have to offer fills those needs, you know, how that works for them. But I think just building a relationship and figuring out what they're looking for and how what you have to offer fulfills that. Merancas Island is a one-of-a-kind property in Lake Norman, so there's no other property like that. So they want exclusivity and privacy and access to Charlotte. That's a one-of-a-kind property. But I think the other big thing for a typical luxury home is selling the area the home's in to the buyer. They haven't been here before. You need to educate them on Quail Hollow, wherever your property is, and tell them about the shopping, the dining, the work access, schools, whatever's important to them. But it's finding out that information from the buyer's agent ahead of time, hopefully, so that you know kind of how to sell the buyer. And on the high-end listings, I'm present for showings. At a certain price point, we're there. So when you get the interface with the buyer, that's great, because you can try to figure out what they're looking for.
And definitely touch on those points.
Absolutely. And if your home is not their favorite home, but it's in the favorite area, you've still got a chance to sell the house.
Just to kind of segue from there for our sellers.
Yep.
For Merancas Island,
Yep.
for a Quail Hollow property like this, what do you think is the most important thing that we offer our sellers to advertise to people that are probably coming from out of state?
Yeah, so Sotheby's has the biggest network for marketing in the world, period, the end. So I think just offering them the biggest outreach they can possibly get for their house to the public, I think that's the biggest thing. Outside of that, it's having built relationships with the other top tier agents in the market and being able to work well with them, call them, tell them about your properties, and I think that's the other big thing. But certainly the best marketing, the best exposure, I think is through Sotheby's.
As you can see, luxury real estate can be a truly rewarding process, and if you have any questions about the real estate business here in Charlotte or Lake Norman, feel free to reach out to either one of us today.